So far this year, the National Archives has digitized tens of thousands of pages related to UFOs. They start in stacks like this, then it's off to the lab, where employees prep the materials, get them ready for the camera, and then onto your computer screen.
What we'll do is we'll place the object on the table and basically take an image of it.
Project Blue Book was a U.S. Air Force program from 1947 to 1969, which was responsible for receiving, documenting, and investigating UFO reports.
Every time you play a film, it's at risk of damage.
And the famous Roswell incident, transformed from the original film only available at an archives facility just outside D.C. to this digital video that can now be played anywhere. The once clandestine Air Force video supporting the official government conclusion that the 1947 discovery of debris in New Mexico was from Air Force testing of covert weather balloons. Now, the tens of thousands of government UFO records expected to all be available online by 2024.
The first step was to identify the records in our holdings that relate to UFOs and to determine the scope. With that, to begin the digitization of the records that were not already digitized. Our goal is to have those records digitized by the end of this year.
Good evening, folks, and welcome to a very blue evening, because it is a blue evening, because we're going to talk a bit of Blue Book with a bit of Roswell. It apparently is all coming out next year. What we're going to get, I don't know. Maybe we'll get a load of AI images. Who knows? Who knows? But before we go any further, speaking of a bit of blue, in order for us to stay in the blue rather than in the red, go check out the links below if you want to become a Patreon member. If you want to check out our new kind of like partnery thingy majiggery bob with Fiverr, where you can literally pay them a $5. You can pay some dude a $5 to make you like thumbnails, whatever tickles your nipples, you can get done for a $5. They might try to barter with you. Just try and stick with the $5. Maybe £6.50. That's a good number. You're giving them a little bit more. Doubler. But yeah, we're going to be talking a bit of the disclosure that is on its way, because Grush said it was. Without further ado, my partner in crime, my lover, he's not my mother. Lee.
Howdy.
Did you want to say that as well? That just popped in my head. My lover, you did. I copied that off you. Yeah.
I think I might have said he's not my lover. I fucked his mother. I think I said that.
Oh, mate, my mum watches this show. Why do you? And she likes you.
I know she does.
And my dad does, for that matter. He's probably laughing, actually, to be fair.
Yeah. It was before I met them, to be fair. It was before I met them.
Yeah. Yeah. Did the $5 thing did I introduce it right? Is that what it is?
I think so. Yeah, you can go and get stuff done. Everyone knows what $5 is.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Oh, yeah. They could, also, if you want to see your name in green, you could become a channel member, a Patreon, and something big is coming, because we're going to have fucking Addicts Discord, where we're going to have loads of little subjects going. So if you want to be a part of that, touch that fucking...
I think we're going to try and do some sort of monthly hangout in there as well, aren't we?
Yeah, where we all get pissed.
Discord members
or whatever you want to do.
Yeah, I did. It completely ruined the joke as well, because I stuck my lights red to annoy you, but you didn't notice. I'm just going to put them back to being blue.
No, I did notice. I just thought you were trying to piss me off.
I was. Did it?
No, I didn't.
Oh.
It didn't bite. I was going to change the color of the background.
Damn it.
Speaking of changing colors, Nick with his changing color mic. How the devil are you, my lad?
I think my microphone is on mushrooms. That's what it looks like when mushrooms. It's like a bloody disco. It's like a lightsaber, isn't it? Amazing.
Mate, Ollie, Rainbow Road about it.
Yeah.
UFOlogies and mushrooms, boys. Tell you that much.
Yes, absolutely. But I'm doing good, man. I'm doing good. Thanks for having me back.
Mate, it's good to have you part of the spread.
Thank you. Much appreciated. Hope the chat likes me as well.
One day we're gonna do like I don't know. We'll hire out a fucking tent and we'll have an alien addict
bong sesh
blast. Lee'll be on drums. I don't know what Dave will be on
drums
doing.
as well. I'm also a drummer as well.
Dave will be worrying at that party. I'll tell you something. Just watch out for that man. And I'll just probably at the bar. But yeah, you said something to me, Lee, about this, and it's kind of resonated. Like we're gonna get potentially a shitload of information next year. All the documents are going to come out. They're all getting copied. Everybody's going to be able to go through. I'm sure UFO channels are going to be going through all that. And you brought me back to Grush. We were on the phone. Was it yesterday? And you said,
just
well,
one, I think.
Yeah, Grush.
When you ring me up in the morning, it's like pillow talk. It's weird.
What was it Grush said? What was it?
Well, it was Coulthard asked him about. Is it? Did you say it Coulthard? Is it like the F1 driver?
Coulthard.
Or is it Coulthard? I don't know.
It's Coulthard.
Yeah.
Coulthard.
He asked about Roswell, and Grush turned around and said, "I can't talk about Roswell because it's still classified." I found it very loaded and like a weird part of the interview, and I said, I think it was on the show after that. In the future, they're going to use, because I think I'm going to go with it, and just start calling this fake disclosure, because I don't 100% believe what's going on. And I said I think they're going to use Roswell in the future because it's the pop culture UFO incident. Like that's the UFO that if you want to hit the buzzwords, that's the one my mum will know. That's the one my dad will know.
Yeah, that's the one everybody will know.
Yeah.
And probably some people Blue Book.
Probably not, I would say.
No, Blue Book, in my opinion, was just it's a bit like a Project Sign, Project Grudge, Blue Book as well. Following that, they're all there just to gather up UFO sightings and to excuse them off as like aerial phenomena, weather balloons, swamp gas. And you will find, especially Project Blue Book. I mean, this is where the Roswell files is coming from, right? Is that where it's going to prove nothing?
Yeah.
Well, the guy in that news report from News Nation. So News Nation, I'm sorry, but I think you may. I could be wrong here, people. Correct me. The chat's usually pretty intelligent, but he said Blue Book 1947, from 1947 to 1969. Blue Book started in 1952, not 1947. Yeah. Roswell was 1947 July. Blue Book was established, I believe, 1952, and I think it was called Project Blue Spear or something before that. I can't remember the actual name of it.
Blue Sky rings a bell.
Yeah. Blue Sky. It was called Blue. It was called Blue Book. This is actually true. It was called Blue Book because at the universities they gave the people that were studying a blue book that they had to learn and had to keep going over. So they named it Blue Book because they wanted to keep going over it until they found some answers. So that's the reason why it's called Blue Book.
Well, you had predecessors before that. I mean, you had Project Sign, which was called Project Saucer. This was from
Sign,
1940.
that's it. Sign, not
Yeah,
spear.
Project Sign, which was from 1947 to 49, if I remember rightly. Project Grudge was from 1949 to 51, and Project Blue Book, from the top of my head, was from 1952 to 1969. All of these projects was just there to gather information and just to piss it off as like, oh no, it's just swamp gas, you idiot, go back to bed. Yeah, it's the same sort of malarkey.
Nate, we're absolutely right. Yep. Project Blue Book. So Project Sign was 1947. So
yeah,
I'll let him off. He works for News Nation. And Project Blue Book was 1952 to 1969.
Yeah.
Project Sign was 1947. So Roswell to 1948.
You think Project Blue Book, I think they collected over 12,000 documents. If they're going to release all of them, I'd be very surprised. They said thousands of documents. I mean, who's going to go for thousands of documents? I mean, it'd be interesting to see what comes out of there. But my hopes isn't that. I mean, I'm with you, Lee. This fake disclosure that's going on. Everyone's getting their disclosure bonus, thinking something's going to happen.
Oh no, see,
time will tell.
I'll caveat it though. I think something's going to happen. As in, I think we're going to get something. Like I fully expect to see at least like some sort of high resolution like photograph of what's supposed to be a craft. If not some sort of alien autopsy-esque photographs of entities as well, because I don't know what the end game of this is, but I keep hammering this on this show, that there is an active information campaign to make people that didn't think about UFOs yesterday believe in them tomorrow.
The problem is with, sorry, Ollie, go ahead, mate.
No, go on, Nick.
I was going to say, if we're going to get photographs from Project Project Blue Book in the 50s, you are going to get photographs like this. Fake. I mean, this is from this, from the 50s, and what you're going to get is all these, these flying saucers that don't exist anymore.
Oh, by the photographs, I don't just mean like from this thing. I think that's what's leading up
in
to.
General.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I see your point. But if we're going off any information or photographs coming from Project Blue Book, that's going to be declassified. It's going to be probably something like shit photos and this, most probably fake ones. So time would tell. I don't want to sound like optimistic, but I just don't have any hope for ufology or disclosure, to be honest with you.
You don't recommend that book then, Nick?
Oh, that one, yeah, it's bloody expensive. They got a second one out, but there's a lot of Billy Meyer photographs in here, so take it with a pinch of salt. But I am going to scan a lot of these across and send them to you, Ollie, because some of them are quite interested in this book. So yeah, that will cost you about 150 quid to 200 on eBay.
Wow.
For fake photographs of flying saucers. So there you go. But yeah, I'm with you, Lee. I really do hope we get a high resolution photograph. I'm gagging for one. I'm just waiting for so long, and I just haven't seen anything.
Good to see you, Cambion.
Cambion, you're welcome to come on, my lad.
Yeah.
Absolutely more than welcome.
Yeah, it'd be great to speak to you. Yeah, big fan. So yeah, time will tell. We'll see what happens. What was it? Does it come out next year? Yeah,
next year. So they're going to be scanning all these photos in. Now they're already doing that. But the thing is, if I really hope I'm wrong with this, but if there is some sort of game here, now you've seen what the public can do with AI. Can you imagine if the Ray Centelli alien autopsy, for example? I would say there's technology out there with AI to scan that video and be able to get that thing at different angles. Can you imagine if we got something like that when everybody's going, well, hang about, that was fucking debunked. Even the guy, Soros, whatever his name is, came out and said that thing was his. But now we've seen it at different angles. We've seen the same alien in the desert. That thing's if somebody does that, then, but if somebody does that with a level of trust, when it comes to trusting, and this is what I don't get with it all. And you've said this many times, Lee. Why is it that conspiracy theorists, UFO people have all of a sudden started to trust in government? I don't get that shit.
No, I don't. I don't understand. I find the UFO community quite close-minded in general. Now there used to be a
Have fun, my lad.
I don't see. I got into this sort of stuff by I don't want to use the term free thinker because it's wanky, but like I was just into like all of the things, any like conspiracy type things or the like, and like anyone I knew that was into this sort of stuff was kind of the same too. But now it seems since the UFO stuff has been like confirmed, you can see it's slowly becoming its own little religion where the minute you question the orthodoxy, people won't take it, and that I think it's closing a lot of people's minds off to different aspects of what this could be, and people are just laser focused on this being a nuts and bolts. They've come from 6 billion light years to here, somehow ran out of petrol and crashed, and then we started back engineering craft. And I think it's quite a narrow window when you talk about stuff like this. It's quite a narrow window to look at it.
I wonder about all the crashes that's happened like 500 years ago. Is if you look back through, through history, you see like past 500 years, where's been UFO crashes?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, not
hasn't really been any.
Not to blow smoke up his ass, but I was actually watching Cambian's show last night about all the UFO crashes. Really interesting to actually listen to. But I mean, the thing is, and this is no disrespect to you, Stephen, when we hear from UFO crashes and we hear them from media sources, everything, how the fuck do you trust these media sources? Even when it's factual and they're debunking it, because the ones that debunk it and say, well, this was blah, 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 this is weather balloon. I do think something happened with Roswell. So I think Roswell was a thing. I know there's loads of people out there that are all of a sudden, after fucking years, just fucking changed their mind and said, well, I think they're right now. It was actually a weather balloon. Yeah. I think that's probably what's going to come out with these files.
Well, it's Rudolph down the bottom, breaking off from the other reindeers, has said they had 8 years to think of a cover story, now with proper evidence, and up the top. Sorry, I should have put these in order. He also said they're releasing it now to show it was bullshit because it really happened. Does that make sense? And I know what he's trying to say, but I also I don't think anyone cared. So all this is doing, this like we're going to release the Blue Book files, is bringing attention back to it where most people have forgot about it. Most kids, probably from the age of 30, maybe 34 downwards, 35 downwards. I don't give a fuck. Give a fuck about this stuff now. Certainly not Roswell. Roswell was big with us because it was always like a key component of every single UFO documentary and X-Files.
I think if they do want to get... Go on, Nick.
We just had this conversation, beforehand. We're saying about no one gives a shit anymore. People that know about Project Blue Book is, nothing's really good information is going to come out from that at all. But for the vast majority of people that are not into ufology, or they just don't really give a shit. It's people like us who give a shit, who's really on the ball with it. But it's just going to lead to nothing, really.
I won't say we're on the ball. I'd say that we're fans of the field.
Yeah.
I don't think anybody's on the ball. I don't think.
True.
I don't know how you can be unless you're fucking an insider.
It's like calling yourself a ufologist. That's like it's like calling yourself an influencer. You know, it's like no one knows what UFOs really are. Think about it. You know, no one is really an expert in ufology. But it's
like the debunkers could be wrong. They could very well be wrong. They could be a case that they're ripping to fucking shreds, and they could be deeply wrong about it.
Yeah,
because somebody wants that. Because there's been a leak, and they're like, well, if this gets laughed at, then that's the best thing for it. Because if it's laughed at, people are just going to forget about it, and that's with anything. Yeah,
I think they'll forget about it anyway. That's the thing. You know, I can't work out whether this is the whole UFO thing is just more noise that's being pumped out because we're coming up to an election. So the elections seem to run the same way now. You know, you will have your the part where it billed as like the greatest most important US presidential election of all times. Then there will be some sort of natural disasters and storms happen. I expect January, February, March time to see the beginning of the race wars again and rioting on the streets to George Soros will probably have to put his hand in his pocket for that. And the cycle continues, so it could just be noise, just more noise.
Yeah.
Speaking of more noise.
Perfect segue.
Hey,
how y'all doing, man?
Good.
Hidden, what do you think? So it would make probably more sense if I show you the clip without actually hitting the music. But have you been watching the beginning of the show?
No, sorry, man. Sorry.
It's fine, mate. 420. Right. Let me just show you this little clip, and then you tell me what you think. So concentrate.
So far this year, the National Archives has digitized tens of thousands of pages related to UFOs. They start in stacks like this, then it's off to the lab, where employees prep the materials, get them ready for the camera, and then onto your computer screen.
What we'll do is we'll place the object on the table and basically take an image of it.
Project Blue Book was a U.S. Air Force program from 1947 to 1969, which was responsible for receiving, documenting, and investigating UFO reports.
Every time you play a film, it's at risk of damage.
And the famous Roswell incident, transformed from the original film only available at an archives facility just outside D.C. to this digital video that can now be played anywhere. The once clandestine Air Force video supporting the official government conclusion that the 1947 discovery of debris in New Mexico was from Air Force testing of covert weather balloons. Now, the tens of thousands of government UFO records expected to all be available online by 2024.
The first step.
So hidden to what they are scanning all the documents. There's going to be all the files, apparently, well, as much as they can get of it, of Project Blue Book, so J. Allen Hynek stuff, and the actual Roswell case, all by next year. Some of the stuff I believe's out now that you can download.
Yeah. Well, Nick, do you remember that after show chat we had?
Who can't remember that? Yeah, I definitely remember that. Yeah.
and you remember what I told you, that disclosure, when we talked about disclosure, and I said disclosure's been and gone. All the government websites, they have their X files. You can look at them for yourselves. So this is an actual they've had the information. They're not even saying, look, we just discovered. They've had it. They're just transferring it now to make it more accessible for the general public. Whereas what we didn't have with the X files from the alphabet gangs, we didn't have a lot of pictures or video images, which they're now saying they're going to be, everything's going to be there, which is good, isn't it?
Yeah.
If it's at one shop, but I still think that's going to be the problem. Hello, everybody. Sorry. Hello, guys in the chat. I'm just going to say what they want to do is centralize it and have it in one place, because people have to go over to the CIA files, the DOD files, the stuff from the Central American government. If somebody would, and I reckon that would be a good thing, if somebody would just centralize it, one shop, you type in what you want, and it's there. If you want to look at a case from Brazil, it's there. Instead of you huffing you get what I'm trying to say?
I don't think we're going to get the case from. I don't think we're going to get the case from Brazil. We already know that it's been debunked. It's miners.
No. I'm not talking about the Scooby Doo one. I'm talking like, say, the one with could have been the mentally handicapped man.
Oh, okay.
There's others, the human mutilations that took place out in Brazil. I mean,
did you say, Lee, that you're convinced now it was the mentally handicapped man?
Yeah. Just because there was that photograph of him like crouched up against the wall, and it's exactly the same as the artist impression, apart from it's a little man instead of an alien. I think they already said it was a rainy night, didn't they? So if he's been scratched around in the dirt, he's going to be covered in dirt. I don't. You're dealing with very superstitious cultures.
Can I just say this though, Nick? Jesus Christ, Lee, as much as I'm on board with you, like most of the time, with that one right now, all I'm thinking is, have you been with that? Maybe because everybody's pooing. A lot of people in ufology right now are pooing all over. What's his name's documentary?
Uri Geller's.
No, well, yeah, his. What's his name?
Corbell?
No, the guy that did the documentary of the Brazil thing.
Yeah, I forgot his name. Carry on.
The Wi-Fi guys, or
no, me and Lee do this all the time. If I forget somebody, I just make Lee forget it as well. Somebody will know in the chat. He was on Rogan recently.
James Fox.
James Fox out of the blue and all that jazz. Mm-hmm. Right. So what if that is real and you've been given a piece of like fake you've been given a decoy basically to say actually, oh yeah,
maybe, but
I
believed it more until this documentary.
And I know what you're saying there as well, because I unfortunately did not enjoy that, and I've enjoyed every documentary he's done apart from that one.
I didn't. I find it very difficult after the Rogan interview as well. I find it very difficult to trust people that start waxing lyrical about Hillary Clinton and John Podesta, especially in the conspiracy field, because
that's a Rockfin show.
Yeah, it is. I'm not going to get into it. I'm
Rockfin.
sure.
Oh, Bell's a fan as well, though.
Yeah, I know he is. The
of Rockfin.
No. Well, he might be. I'm thinking.
Well, no, he has to be, because he's kind of got in through the Tom DeLonge way, and that's all. That all stems from Podesta.
It all goes back to politics, doesn't it? It all goes back to politics.
Well, look who's trying to control it.
Yeah.
You remember back in sorry, Lee.
No.
You back in Roman civilization, when the shit was going, there wasn't enough food to feed people. There was disease and poverty running rampant. You know what they did in Rome? They had games.
Yeah.
What if they're using our love for this as a distraction? But hey, that's a different show, man, and I'm sorry. What is the topic for today?
Let me read the title because I can't remember. Oh Project Blue Book and Roswell documentaries documents made public. And I should have put by 2024.
But you can see already in that short news clip that the government stances they're still going to say it's a weather balloon.
Okay, so that balloon that they were showing, that footage, what color was that balloon?
White. Well, see-through white.
Was it see-through? Yeah. Now, let me bring the thumbnail up. That big thing that he has there, did they not describe that as foil?
Yeah, but it did look like it had some covering. Sorry,
Hayden.
So if it's that balloon, it should be see-through.
No. Basically, they had the balloon, but underneath it, I think it had like a transmitter or something.
Okay, the wrapped in foil.
I think that was what. Like, not saying that what it is, but that's most probably what that tinfoil is. But yeah, you're right, Ollie. It's very, very strange. You would have thought the balloon being so bloody big, they would have picked up some of the material, because you see the footage there of the balloon. It's massive.
Yeah. How does a weather balloon, so a piece of fucking, now the only thing I could think of, if the weather balloon had crash landed, yeah, and then there's wind picking it up, but then I'm thinking, mate, you do get wind in fucking Roswell and some place like deserts and what have you. And the only thing I'm thinking, it could make a UFO shape, like the wind blowing the actual piece of balloon that's left, and the balloon is making this hump fucking UFO shape that may be looking like it's sticking out of the ground, and somebody go, fuck me, there is a crash flying saucer. But like the term flying saucer had only just been established, I think a few years before that, and I can't remember was the guy's name?
Kenneth Arnold,
you, Lee. Fuck yes. And he reported a group of them going, what he said was, I think, if I'm right, 120,000 miles an hour or something like that. No, say 1,020 miles an hour. How do you even see them? But that was I think that was the report. If I'm probably getting that wrong, I don't know, but I'm getting this from like memory. But that guy saw a fleet of them motherfuckers and said they were saucer shaped, and then hence the name that came out, flying saucer.
If you look at the actual aircraft that he drew in the description, where he's got a drawing of it, that actually looks very similar to the Horton Brothers flying wing.
It's a boomerang
which they were
shape,
one of
isn't it?
they were, it's like a boomerang sort of shape. Those were the fastest stealth fighter jets at that time. They were the fastest.
The term flying saucer actually came as well, not through the shape. When he described them, he said they seemed to skip through the air like a stone, like a saucer would skip on water, if you like a skimming stone.
The Horton flying wing doesn't do that, does it? It just flies like a normal plane.
No, but that's how he said these things moved. Which makes you think about like the UFO wobble that you hear these things have sometimes. I don't know. As far as the balloons, like looking like UFOs, I'm almost 100% convinced that I'm right in thinking that weather balloons hit a certain altitude, and because of air pressure, flatten out into discs.
That's when they hit the dome.
Yeah, it's when they hit the dome. That's it. How could I be so silly? But I mean, the debris could have just been, if you get a load of technical debris on the ground. I tend to not think whatever it was. I tend to not believe the weather balloon story.
In the picture that you showed in the thumbnail, Ollie, that's Jesse Marcel, isn't it?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, there's do you know the background of Jesse Marcel? Yeah, that's him. Yeah, that's definitely him. He was a lieutenant colonel for the Air Force, and he was part of what was it? Operation Crossroads. He was part of the Bikini Atoll atomic bomb. So he's quite high up in the military. Now,
right.
Let me ask you this. He doesn't know between a weather balloon and an alien spacecraft.
Mm.
You know what I mean? It's he says whatever crashed there was not from this earth. I think you played one of the interviews with him, like a very short clip of him, basically him saying that.
But wasn't this when he was presenting that? He was presenting that, and he was saying, "Yeah, it's a piece of weather balloon." Pretty sure
but apparently
that's that, isn't it?
Yeah, well, apparently those were switched. They actually had the original wreckage, and then he went into another room, and then they switched it to the weather balloon stuff, which is there, and he was made to actually take the photograph with the other person in the room to make it sound like it was actual debris from the crash.
Well, this is the thing for me with the Roswell crash is that I mean I could be wrong here. With Air Force military was one of the two. I think it was the Air Force. No, I think it was military actually. They said that this thing, they had a flying saucer, that a flying saucer had crashed. They printed that in the papers. The next day they totally fucking redacted all that information and said, no, we've got a crash weather balloon.
Isn't it that
why put that in the first place? Is that not really is that not unprofessional for a fucking
Well, it got called out, didn't it? Because the sheriff said it. He called
the sheriff. Was it? No, yeah, but who reported to the papers?
Well, obviously the sheriff. Along them, follow that way. Press and police.
Pretty sure the article says that the fucking military said that they had it. I could be wrong on that, Hidden. You know, you probably absolutely spot on.
That's the way I remember the story going. Is that the sheriff said it, and then the military is the one that doubled down and said no, it was ours. Not doubled down. I'm saying
yeah, I've got the paper here. So it's Royal. Looking here. There we go. Shit. So, RAAF captures flying saucer on ranch in Roswell. So, Roswell American Air Force captures flying saucer. I mean, who gave him that information? I cannot read that writing.
Bear in mind, this is the 40s, so
yeah, anything goes.
Yeah, I think it's really sad.
But I think the story. I think the story goes, and I think it's always gone. And nobody's ever corrected me on this, and we spoke about this, Lee, on the show, that the Air Force put that shit out, and then the next day they changed it.
Yeah.
Ollie, do you see the link in the private chat?
Oh no! You need to tell me you do that. I'm
not I'm not looking at that, man. Anything that starts off with Pornhub, I'm not looking at it.
Nick, why do you send me these halfway through a show? That should be after the show.
gay German porn. I ain't watching that.
Oh yeah, let's bring this up. Okay, I think we can.
Okay, so I checked out this video. It's only a couple of minutes long. So this is Dr. Alan Heinrich. He was part of Project Sign, Project Grudge, Project not Paperclip. What were we talking about? Blue Book. And this is his analysis. He's looked through all the evidence and everything. And this is an interview in 1974 when he was in a meeting with these colonels and very, very high up in the military discussing about UFOs. And this is his honest opinion of what he thinks about the program.
The CIA now would enter the picture by convening a panel of top scientists to examine the UFO phenomenon.
Is that Rod Steiger? Yeah.
As the might constitute a threat to our national security. The thinking was that the enemy could exploit UFOs as a decoy in the preparation for an attack on the United States. 5 outstanding scientists and various Air Force and CIA representatives were to meet on Wednesday, January 14th, 1953. Among the panel members was one associate member who was destined to have more experience with the UFO than any other American scientist to date, Dr. J. Allen Hynek, astrophysicist and head of the astronomy department of Northwestern University.
I was called into the meeting on Thursday
The panel members were seated around this table. It was a rather somber and impressive occasion, actually. I was a junior member, and I remember feeling considerably nervous and apprehensive about being in front of this powerhouse of scientists. But then for the past 4 years, I had been scientific advisor to the U.S. Air Force on this very problem. There were two films that were of particular interest to the panel at that time. One was a film taken by a Navy officer while on vacation in Utah, near Tremonton, Utah. And the other...
Sorry, is it just me? Or does he look a little bit like the KFC guy?
I was literally just going to say. I was literally just going to say. I don't think he gets enough credit for his original recipe chicken.
Sorry, carry on. I've never seen this, Nick. Thank you. It's great.
Two films that were of particular interest to the panel at that time. One was a film taken by a Navy officer while on vacation in Utah, near Tremonton, Utah. And the other was a film taken in Great Falls, Montana, by the owner of the local baseball team. The Utah film had already been subjected to some 1,000 or so man-hours of analysis by the Navy's Photographic Interpretation Laboratory. So the panel got up from their chairs and crouched around the wall to examine the films, and they asked to have the films run several times, as a matter of fact. Now, the Navy had, on the basis of their detailed analysis of the Utah films, they had concluded that the objects shown in the films could not be birds, balloons, aircraft, and so forth, but indeed that they were self-luminous, unidentified objects. Yeah. Despite this conclusion, the panel rejected it and concluded that the objects were birds. They couldn't be unidentified.
Birds.
Therefore, they had to be birds. I came away from the meeting and from the room with the distinct feeling, however, that the panel had deliberately moved to debunk the whole subject and not to give it
He looks like a Smith's album cover there.
Attention which it deserved.
So yeah, this chap here, he was one of the high ups in this. Yeah, so that guy was probably the guy in charge. Not saying in charge, but he was looking through all the documents in Project Blue Book. And that's his. Yeah, and that's his honest opinion. You said
he had a cameo. He had a cameo in Close Encounters of the Third kind, and they said fifth then. Yeah,
eighth.
I'm sure he was in it. Am I wrong by that, Lee?
Yes, he was right at the very end.
Yep.
So there you go, guys. That's straight from the horse's mouth.
But you made an interesting comment there that they're hidden. You went birds.
Did I?
Yeah, you went birds.
No, I would have gone for balloons. That's why I'm a bit shocked they went for birds, because you don't see they look pretty static. They look pretty stable. Birds, when they move around, so the shine or the shimmer would tend to go. Do you get what I mean? So if they're that's why I was a bit shocked that they called it out as birds. I mean, I would like to see that.
What type of birds were they? Fucking pterodactyls.
Lee, you broke up then.
I know.
No, just like what sort of birds would they have to be?
Pterodactyls.
Yeah, that's what sort of birds would they have to be to for you to see them in the sky like that? They'd have to be fucking pterodactyls.
With that, with that kind of, because they didn't seem to be moving as say what a bird would move. They seem more stationary. Just looking at that clip, that's what I would have assessed from it.
Well, I mean, back then,
I would if I was going to call it out, I'd call it out as balloons. But birds, no, that's wrong.
What would make people back then go, okay, I'm gonna film these birds, and I'm going to report them to XYZ as aliens, and the birds. I would say people might do that now because that's how it's gradually adapted over time. But right back then, were we that fucking
Honestly,
Lee, what am I trying to get here? You know, like in terms of like what they are doing now, what people do now, just genuinely as humans, people will try and pull a fast one. I just don't know if that would be the thing back then, because what sort of traction would that reach? You know, what sort of audience would that reach?
Major.
Really? What, the local newspaper?
No. They would.
I think he froze.
I think like we would have programs. I grew up in America, so we would have programs on there like Believe It or Not, things like that, and just the stills and all that. There is a little financial rewards in hooking something and getting it out there if it's right. It's a lot different now.
But back then, what was the reward, other than like
maybe the person who filmed it wasn't looking for a reward. Maybe he saw something and didn't understand what he was looking at, so he caught it, and that's often the best thing. Let's take a look at what you got, and then we can all talk about it and decide what we're looking at, or try and identify what we're looking at. And if we can't, for all intents and purposes, that footage, because they couldn't identify it, I felt how the brother felt. Because they couldn't identify it, they said something so blasé as birds, when it's clearly not birds.
How many times have you seen a bird in the sky and thought,
oh, sorry.
No, just thought, fuck, what is that?
Never.
I mean, I guarantee the chat has not looked at a bird and gone, that's a fucking spaceship, unless there was high as shit.
Honestly, the balls in the footage is way too big. The only thing I can compare it to, have you ever seen like a Boeing aircraft in the sky high up, and it is clear blue sky day, and I saw this on the other day when I was on a bike ride. The sun shined on the aircraft, and it was like this big, huge, it looked like a star that was like 20 times bigger, and you can see it traveling slowly. And if people don't know this, it looked like a UFO. I was like, holy shit, I need to I knew what it was because I've seen it many, many times before, but that's what it kind of looked like. But birds, I doubt that.
Nah,
it's too round of a circular object.
It's too much bullshit. That's a straight up bullshit. It's not. It's not birds. They weren't even moving like birds, and they can't hide. One thing is they're not born. Their feathers are not born in a way to hold the glow. They work with the sunlight, so they'd have to move, and you will get a little shimmer. Those things look perfect. You know what I mean? It's kind of footage I like, but that's it. That's all I can say about it, man. I feel that man's frustration that they looked at the footage, and because they can't debunk it, they just saying something that it's birds. As a debunk, I would have looked at it and said, okay, they could be balloons.
Could be.
For me, this actually proves that Project Blue Book was just there to poo-poo all these reports, even footage as well. It solidifies proof to me that it's just there to just debunk reports.
But Hynek did a U-turn, didn't he, with that?
He did, yeah. Yeah, he actually changed his mind. He really did, yeah. He says there's definitely something to this.
I'm with you, Rudolph. Can I butt in, Ollie? Sorry. Could we see that footage again? Because Rudolph and myself would like to see that footage again.
Well, that clip we just brought up.
Yeah, that clip off the objects. So I think that was more towards the end. I'd like to have another look at it.
Yeah. I think I've actually used that UFO clip in a old piece of video that I did as well.
See, there you go, Rudolph, I mean, sorry. You ask and you got.
So the panel got up from their chairs and crouched around the...
Yeah, they're not birds. They're too fast.
Have the films run several times, as a matter of fact.
They look perfectly circular.
Now, the Navy had, on the basis
now, the weird thing with that, though, I will say that. Now, this is old. This is old. So there's no such thing as CGI. back then.
They did
Not back then. There was not.
They did have a machine.
They had a machine that they'd overlay stuff on. Yes. Now, but watch when these birds go past the pylon. Watch in the middle because I spotted that straight away. But
So the panel got up from their chairs and crouched around the walls to examine the films, and they asked to have the films run several times, as a matter of fact.
did you see that?
Yeah.
One of them is not there. One of them.
So the panel got up from their chairs and crouched around the walls to examine the films.
Where did that one go?
Run several times,
See,
as a matter of fact.
here's a few seconds.
Crouched around the walls to examine the films, and they asked to have the films run several times, as a matter of fact. Now,
I'd like to know where this footage was.
Maybe that's the camera's focus levels. That could be quite possibly that camera's because it's
shown in the films could not be birds, balloons, aircraft, and so forth, but indeed that they were self-luminous, unidentified objects. Despite this conclusion, the panel
Such a
rejected
show.
it.
Can we? Oh, there it is.
Objects were birds. They couldn't be unidentified, therefore they had to be birds.
I don't think they're birds. I don't think they're birds, man. What do you think?
no. I don't think the birds. No, definitely don't think the birds.
I think if you was gonna try and debunk it, just say balloons.
I mean,
satellites would be moving. They would be moving. They'd be moving at a very fast rate.
The thing that I have with this coming out is, and Lee was mentioning it before, and we've spoke about this a few times, is they're saying something's coming in 2024. So in terms of and it's the Roswell case that really sticks out with this. If they do want to make mum and dad believe in UFOs, that would be the biggest thing to do that. Now, a lot of people I know there's a lot of people on one side of the UFO fence that say the people that look at Fravor, that look at Grush, that look at Graves, Dietrich, these are all grifters, and that's all it is. I kind of wish Cambion had a join tonight because I would have stood my ground with that because I don't see it. I don't understand the grift. I don't understand how much money that grift is pulling in to destroy an entire military career. Is it worth it? I don't know why there wouldn't be other people coming in that said, listen, I knew this guy in XYZ. I worked with him. He's full of shit. He's destroying credibility of like pilots that are going to speak about stuff in the future. Forget the UFO shit, but this is bad because if this is all a lie, then it's like the boy that cried wolf. You tell so many fibs, no one's going to believe you. So forget the UFO thing, but if too many conspiracies come out from certain people that are going to come forward, then I'm sorry, but when there's something really fucking important, somebody may not believe you because you've done it. Because you've done it, you've been the boy that cried wolf.
Are you talking about David Gross?
I'm talking about Grush, yeah, and I don't know where I stand with him.
On unacceptable views, wanted to know.
Right, I have no issues with him whatsoever. I don't think people should use the PTSD to say that he didn't see what he didn't hear. I don't think people should use the PTSD to say that is why he's full of shit, because people that are in that field go through PTSD. That is fact.
Yeah, yeah, it's very common. It's very common, especially people in the military.
Yeah, of course it is. They fucking kill other humans for a fucking living. You know, that's what they do.
And he's not lying, guys. He's not lying.
You don't think he's lying?
Oh, he's not lying, but he's not telling you nothing new. It's the greatest script. It's the greatest script.
He's got nothing to lie about. He hasn't seen shit. He's been told it.
I was having a nose in Reddit, as I do, and a couple of days ago, and I was considering sending it over to you, but I didn't. A couple of days ago, somebody was comparing one of Gross's Little Tales to something that was said in 67.
Really?
Yeah. I told you this. I told you this is what they're doing. Because I've heard just a couple of stories from him, and I thought, you know what? I've heard that before.
Well, love him or hate him,
it's a game. It's a game, man.
If something comes out next year with Roswell, with all this stuff, if something comes up to back these people up, are they right or are they in? Are they in the game? Are they working for them? Because we don't trust government, do we? And this is one of the big things with the UFO community that I don't get is all of a sudden government starts to release. You get official videos, FLIR footage, all that jazz, and then we go fucking wild over. Why all of a sudden have we like done a complete U-turn and gone, well, if the government's showing it, if officials are showing it, if military's showing it, if Air Force is showing it, then it must be going on. It must be real.
Well, you got the other half that's saying, I don't believe it now. I used to believe in UFOs, but now the government's saying they're real. I don't believe in it. I just don't know. I don't know what to believe now.
And I would say that's quite a bunch of the hardcore fucking ufologists. The the people who've been in this for fucking years have gone, something is odd is fucking going on. That's not me saying, because I have not been in it for years. I've been interested in this since I was a boy. I got into this as a YouTube channel in 2015, I think, 2014 maybe, leading up to my 2015, leading up to my son being born, my first boy. And I would say the way I look at this thing now to how I looked at it then is a completely different thing. I mean, it's literally night and day to how I look at it back, how I looked at this back then. The excitement I had when I looked at the planet Mars, when I looked through photographs, when I was just looking at fucking trying to spot anomalies and looking at UFO videos on Secure Team 10, third phase of moon. I'm just getting really excited by it.
And hidden underbelly.
Obviously, mate, you came to me, I think about 4 years ago. I found you, and you've always been, mate. You are now my fucking. It's not even a guilty pleasure. It's just my pleasure. Yeah. And everybody should go check Hidden out.
See how much shit I can get wrong.
But the thing is, if you get something wrong, you tell it. You say it.
I know. I mean, my mispronunciations.
Oh, mate, I do that. So does Nick.
Oh my god! Because I'm Bristolian,
I mispronounce everything.
I'm from the West Country. I sound like a farmer. I can't even pronounce words properly, so it's terrible. And the weed doesn't help either. So
see, the thing is, I have this one-take policy. So that's why my videos, I kind of like mumble around, fumble. It's pretty funny. I watch it and laugh.
The thing is,
the meaning's there. Thank you. Don't get upset though, Rudolph, because they all can't be winners, mate. All my videos ain't winners.
Lisa's got a very good comment there, and I kind of like I get where she's coming from. I don't know if you're I can't remember if you're an experiencer or not, Lisa, but like to believe the people who've believed in this is they were a child.
Yeah. But that's my point. You don't need
Prove
the
that there is something there.
You don't need the government to tell you this. No. Big deal, big whoop. No, honestly, I don't understand why you guys always talk about these clowns. And the reason why I call them clowns is because they turn up with no evidence. Show me. That's why I'll tell you what, out of all these people that are doing what they're doing, the one person that I say is a good man is Sean Kirkpatrick. Because he brought some footage to the table, man. That's what I want to see. I don't want to see the stories or hear the stories.
Lisa, email us. Honestly, if you've had an experience from a child, we want to hear that stuff. You can come on, give us your story. That would be a good show. Anybody who's had experiences from being a kid, I'm interested in, because I had something as a child, which I've mentioned it before. I'm not gonna go into it tonight. You will have heard it before, an Alien Addict. But yeah, there's definitely something. There's something that goes along. I think kids in general are I believe experiences that children have had. Doesn't mean to say I believe it's nuts and bolts craft, but I believe there is something, and I do think the higher ups, government, whatever, they know what it is.
I'm
There is
skeptical when it comes to this.
There is something 100%. There is just, it's not something to debunk in this. Let me just say that there is, with all the debunkers out there, with all the people that want to say that this field is just full of grifters, but nothing but grifters, they may well be wrong with some parts of it, because there is things that goes, there are things that go bump in the night. Okay.
Let me just say this. When it comes to alien abduction, I'm 50-50 with it. You know, I don't want to be one of those debunkers. I really am open-minded. But the people that have been abducted, you know, on a series of events, saying, "Oh, I've been abducted on a regular basis." Why don't they set up cameras? Why don't they give us at least something? There's nothing to back it up from. You know, I'm not saying that people don't have experiences, because I'm pretty sure they do, because some of them go in quite detail. But it just boils down to evidence. You know what I mean? I'm not expecting it to be put on a plate for me. I think it's going to be a gradual process. But when it comes to alien abduction, it's a tricky one. And there's obviously, unfortunately, ufology, I said this many, many times, is a business, and people will do anything to make money out of it.
Absolutely.
So I'm not poo-pooing people's abductions. I'm not saying that at all.
No, but Nick, you got it. You just nailed it on there. Ufology is 100% a business.
Yeah.
But when you have a product that is good, you sell it.
Yeah, especially when it comes to books or anything.
It doesn't mean to say the product's shit. Do you know what I mean? I think the product we've got is excellent. Do I think people will manipulate the product to make more money and maybe speculate on the product to what the product actually is? Yes. Even we do this here on Alien. We're speculating now. We speculate every fucking night we come on it, because we have no fucking idea.
Yeah, but look at Roswell. Look at. I mean, if you look at, I mean, we're going back to like the industry sort of thing. I mean, look at Roswell, New Mexico. I think it's the town of Rachel. It wouldn't be nothing as it is today if it wasn't for the story of aliens when it comes to Roswell. Because you've got McDonald, you've got it's the building of a bloody spacecraft. You've got the alien museum. Everything's alien oriented, and they've used this alien story which isn't
Make,
doesn't
make
really
some
prove.
cheddar.
Yeah, exactly. So it's a whole town is her. I mean, not poo-pooing it at all, but at least it makes money. But it's all about aliens, and it's made a business out of it.
But see, one good thing that I hope we would be able to access from that database is the Battle of LA. Just to know how far.
Oh, yeah, that's a good one.
Just
That's
to
a
know
good
how
one.
far, because if that story, if I can remember that story right.
I mean, that's
which I probably
before.
won't.
That's before. What you call it?
Roswell.
That's before Roswell. And it's definitely before Blue Book.
Well, they so. But I hope there's something about that one. I'd like that one.
Yeah, that one is a genuinely like they were firing at that thing for I think well over an hour. Like just that thing was still in the sky. Boom, boom, boom,
But
boom, boom.
I believe the Navy reported
Some
it coming
people
in.
got injured. Some people got injured from the fucking shells dropping to fucking Earth.
Or were they? Were they shells?
Are you talking about Los Angeles, the Battle of Los Angeles? Yeah, I was going to say about that. The footage that everyone sees, that is not actually the original footage. The original footage is nowhere to be seen, apparently.
Well, that's a still.
Nick, I did not know
still
that.
from it. No, that's a still
Yeah.
from it. The negative's gone.
Yeah, the actual original footage of the Battle of Los Angeles is nowhere.
So there was actual footage.
Yeah, there was footage,
Yeah,
but
there was a reporter there.
Everywhere.
Oh my god, that's a fucking show.
Yeah, that's a whole because he said something. He said something about on the negative. He put there was a dot on there, and when they gave him back the negative, the
Rudolph,
dot was gone.
sorry, Lee's internet's gone out. He's just messaged me. He's fucked. He did start to glitch out, and he kept freezing, and it's just kicked him out. He can't get back in. So he's on the island. He's on the Isle of Man. So we'll let him off.
It's the government, man.
Sorry, Hidden, what you're saying?
They're trying to silence Lee. Free Lee. Free Lee. Free Lee.
Either that or he's fucked off to play Starfield, and he made his internet freeze.
Oh, you remember on his birthday when he had the gimps around.
Jennifer. It's because experience don't have channels. Real experiences don't have channels. I would agree. I experienced something as a child. I've got a channel, but I don't know what it was, and I can't remember it.
I've spoken to quite a few, and
she's probably got a really good point there because Jennifer's an experiencer. She's got a lot of stories. She has not. I have said to Jennifer, get yourself a YouTube channel, speak about it. She's not interested. A lot real experiences that I've spoke to, like John's got a YouTube channel, Wreaking Havoc, and he's one that I genuinely believe that something's happened in his life, whether it's aliens or not, I don't know. We tried to set something up from him, where he like covered up like all the vents in the house. The poor bastard was hot as shit for a few days because we were trying to establish if it was dust particles because he was getting all these orbs fucking going around on camera. So we were like, right, cover up everything, cover up the fan, don't turn your fan on. You're gonna have to be hot as shit. But the guy doesn't really want to do much with the YouTube channel because he's just like, well, I'm really interested in actually what's going on. So Jennifer, thank you so much for the super chat, by the way. I completely get you there.
Thank you.
Real experiences that are out there, a lot of them do not want to speak about it because some of them, to them, it's really personal. And
it's the fear of not being believed.
It's the fear of not believed. So when I was in America and I was sat out with me. I'm not gonna. Dave gets funny if I get it. He doesn't want me to know to reveal the location because that will reveal where he is. I get it.
So don't just say when you was out in the States with Dave.
When I was out in the States with Dave, the place that Dave took us to Lee couldn't come, and I really wish Lee could have come because even Lee might think are Ollie and Dave lying to me, which he knows we wouldn't do. But what I saw that night, I tried to film on camera, and I couldn't get it because it was too high up in the sky. It was a dot. I have a fucking shitty iPhone 12 mini that Dave and Lee like to take the piss out of. And Dave had night vision goggles that were very good. Like, you're talking stupidly good. We were looking, we looked through them, all of us. There was a few of us. I think we had 3 pairs of night vision goggles, and things were happening in the sky that night. And we were over a how do I word this right? We were over a base, not a military base, but a scientific research base. Yeah. Very close to one.
Could I ask you a question, Ollie?
Yeah.
You know when you say you were seeing things going on in the sky, would you consider
I was high as shit, don't get me wrong, but everybody saw them.
No worries. Listen, you know me, I smoke weed and I've seen stuff. So, and I'm not putting it down to me smoking weed, so I'll never say that. But what I'm trying to ask is, was this activity conducted within our atmosphere, or could you have been seen outside our atmosphere?
I would say in. I don't think I would have seen it unless it was massive. So if it was outside our atmosphere, it was massive. So I think it was in. I think it was 100% in.
Just out of curiosity, is it like blurry when you're looking through the night vision? Was it what you were seeing the objects? Was it
crisp,
blurred?
Absolutely crisp. And do you know what Lee said the next day? Which both me and Dave looked at each other and went. Lee said, "Why didn't you put your camera lens to the goggles?"
Would that work though?
Yeah,
I don't know. Maybe it wouldn't have. I think it would have.
People do that with the telescopes.
Oh no, it would have worked actually because we did that in the haunted, the prison, which we are going to edit that video up soon for you people, and there is some good stuff to see on there as well, which I have told you boys about. I think have I told you about that hidden?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm waiting to see it too because I'm thinking if I like it, man.
I'm a believer. I'm absolutely a believer.
If I like it, I'll be putting it on my channel.
100%. Yeah, mate, you will. Honestly, I think most people will. It is that good. It is that good. I think we decided to wait till Halloween, just for like, it needs edit. It's been edited. You know, there's a lot of footage there. A lot of fake footage. That's what they'll say.
At the same time, Ollie, when you release that footage, I'd like to show you one of my ghost photos I've got. This is, it's quite special to me because this is not faked. I mean, my mum's in a chat. She was there with me when we took the photograph.
Hi, Mum.
So I've got a secret.
Yeah, Lee's in the chat as well. He's not playing Starfield, the little bugger. He's watching his routers, but No, you did freeze, mate. You went like that, and I thought, what? I thought he was having a really long stretch. He was like that for ages. I thought, has he fallen asleep? And he was just like. So if you watch back, Lee's like stuck like this for about 5 minutes, and then he just goes boom, gone.
Yeah. So this photograph is a full
he is playing Starfield now, though.
Yeah,
he's not lying to us. He's got his phone there and his spaceship there.
So when you have your episode, Ollie, with your Halloween episode, I want to show you the photograph because this is nothing you've ever seen. I've got to send it to Stu Little because he's got the whole software to look into it. But this is full apparition, no BS. It's a very special photograph to me. I haven't shown it to anyone. So yeah. But that's like full apparition.
I believe that stuff exists 100%.
Definitely.
I didn't. I don't think Lee did either until he went to the States.
I'm surprised he would have been once a conspiracy theorist.
So
Lee's not.
Yeah.
No, Lee's a conspiracy realist.
Well, I don't know. I would say Lee is 100% a hardcore. I think, but we both are conspiracy nuts, which I think everybody here might be. You know, I don't see how you can be into this conversation. I don't know. I think that's bullshit. I don't see how you can be into this to the level that we are without being the conspiracy nut. Just because you don't believe certain conspiracies doesn't mean say that you're a bit of a conspiracy nut for it, you know.
And some of these, what I found, because I was knee deep into this stuff, man, a long time ago, and what I found out was a lot of these what you say are false theories. Because what they do is they branch out like a tree, you know, different branches. You start looking on one thing and then you start looking at something else and something else. Do you get what I'm trying to say?
Mm-hmm.
And there were red herrings along the way in some of the stuff.
Yeah.
I think things were just put out there to be put out there. Had no basis, had nothing. There was nothing to it.
Mm. So do you... Now, how well versed are you with like the Blue Book files?
No.
Good. Me neither. Me neither. Nick.
Yeah.
Sorry, say again, mate. I was reading chat.
I said, how like well how much intel have you retained over the Blue Book files? Because the Roswell one sticks out. But I will say this: I've been looking at UFO stuff for years. But if somebody said, give me a blue book, give me a blue book, give me a blue book case, I don't think I would be able to fucking. There's cases that I've got in my head, but I don't think I would be able to give a case and tell you from start to finish. So I don't know how much that one is gonna. I mean, is that the one that's gonna steal the limelight and that is gonna be next year?
Absolutely. No, it's just adding extra hype to the pile of ufology that is at the moment. This is News Nation. Come on, what they're News
Nation are.
Come on,
they are fucking disclosure at its greatest.
Control disclosure. Cheers to it, man.
Just one thing. I'm looking at chat. Unacceptable Views said, Ollie, check out the documentary Witness of Another World.
Oh, that sounds nice.
Yeah,
Witness of Another World. Is that somebody who experienced a bit of Nibiru?
Ooh.
Do you remember that? Nibiru.
That sounds...
Oh, God. Yeah, I remember that.
Oh, never mind. We're probably...
Unless he's talking about the psychedelic world. I'm right in with you, my lad.
Let's look up somewhere else.
No, Lee's right. It's the Roswell one that sticks out, because if they want to do anything, if there is going to be... And let's face it, I don't think you lot in the chat, us doing this, wasting us time on this, you know, I could be, you know, playing Starfield right now, or playing something else upstairs if she lets me. But there's other things we could be doing, everybody. But we're hooked on this subject. And then we're hooked for a reason, because there's something about this subject that we think is going to go fucking boom. I don't think we're hooked on this subject because we're waiting for fucking Mick West to debunk something. You know, I don't think that, as much as I like the guy, I don't think he's that interesting to go, yeah, let me just fucking see who's debunking so-and-so next. You know, that's a waste of time. If you're here for that, then you're a fucking fool.
This is. I think it's going to go. I think it's going to go two ways here. Either one, we're going to get really good evidence, documentation, photographs, even video footage that will show there's disclosure, or going back to Project Bluebeam, the fake alien invasion. Heard of Carol Rosin? Any of you guys have you heard about that?
Carol Rosin, I have heard of. Yes.
Yeah, she met Bonnie von Braun before
Carol,
he died.
oh, got it. That's that Carol Rosin's Greer's lady, isn't she?
Yeah, she says, yeah. But she mentioned something at the end of the of her speech at the Disclosure Project back in 2001, saying about the last card will be the extraterrestrial threat, which is kind of weird because she was saying that, there will be Russians in the 80s, then there'll be terrorists, which is 9/11, and then it'll be third world
Monday
countries,
show.
and
Show,
then
Nick.
there'll be yeah, of course, yeah, Rockfin for Monday. And then there'll be asteroids, which you've always had the asteroid threat, and now the last threat will be the alien invasion, the fake alien invasion. So that is probably on the cards. It's going to go. Who fuck knows what's going to happen? It's so interesting, though. I really want to know what the hell's going to happen because we're at the prime now where ufology, well, UFOs, it's such at its high period of time now. It's almost acceptable, but what evidence is going to come from it? Fuck knows. And I'm telling you so right now, when these documents do come out, I'm going to say this now: nothing's going to happen. It's going to say, "Oh, it's just a weather balloon." It's it's cow's farts or something stupid like that.
I mean, maybe some of the UFOs are actually fucking asteroids coming through and hitting Earth, because when you look at the moon with all the craters on it, you kind of would think we're really a miracle, really. If the dinosaurs took that one for the team, and we've been here for all this time and just like sat here waiting. Maybe there is a man upstairs watching out for us, and like not chucking asteroids at us. Maybe we are being protected from something because
it's all the grand design.
Or we're just lucky.
No, there's no luck. There's no luck that plays into it because it has to do with the gravitational pull of the planets. So major objects that come in, Jupiter. Look at Jupiter as the baseball bat. It takes a lot of hits for us. The sun takes a lot because these things like to follow a heat source. So what we see normally in the skies when we have a meteor shower is something's passed over us, and it's the trail debris. So that's why they can last for a couple of days, couple of nights. You'll see them.
You boys know our moon's a bit of an anomaly, don't you? There's not there's no other moon that they found that does that.
It's almost like it's been put there.
Yeah, well, that's another show. We were speaking. Dave. It's not even.
You can't do that to me, man. I ain't one of them.
It's not even. Mate.
You tell me what you're saying, man.
Right, that is not even a Rockfin show. That is. If you look it up, right, there are. I think it's ancient. I think it's somewhere in Greece. There are like tablets that explain. I could be getting this fucking history completely wrong. It may not be Greece. I don't know. No. Tell me, people.
No, I know what you're on about.
There are
the Get Up tapes or something they're called.
There are things that explain that one day the moon just fucking appeared, and then all of a sudden the tides fucking changed. And everybody's periods got fucked up. So, like,
I mean, the moon plays such a vital role in our species, tide and everything. Apparently it changes people's behavior on a full moon. I don't know if that's urban legend or not.
Yeah, I get
there
really
is some
hairy.
sort of connection. But yeah, there's something to it. It's so odd. Like everything's perfect for us in this world. If the moon wasn't there, we'd be fucked. if the Jupiter wasn't there, we'd be fucked. Like Hidden says, it's got such a great gravitational pull. It's really saving our asses to a certain degree.
Do you know where the term lunatic came from?
It's from the moon.
You are a lunatic.
Isn't it Latin? Loon.
So yeah, so lunatic came from, and if Lee's still watching this, he's going to be like, "Fucking hell, Ollie, Jesus Christ, is he done his research tonight?" So lunatic came from full moons where people used to go fucking crazy. So hence the werewolf. Like, not saying wolf man or whatever, but a lunatic is a lunar, because people fucking went mental on full moons. Look it up. That's factual information, people. That is not fake news.
It's not more so that it's to do with all the celebrations that people would have had. Because back in then, if you would look at, before Christianity, it was Druids, wasn't it?
Say that again, Hidden.
Druids and pagans, if you get what I'm saying. So they would have been worshipping their harvest god, full moon. Imagine they got no electricity, man, and they got no pollution, so they got the best light going down, man, for a little party. So yeah, man, I could deal with that. Yeah,
only on Alien Addict, people, can you start off with Project Blue Book and Roswell and then end on the fucking moon appearing many years ago.
Can I tell you something?
This is the channel to subscribe to.
Can I tell you something that'll bake your noodle? Do you know that we actually have 2 moons?
No, but now I'm really intrigued. Go.
You can Google this. Google actually has it. Our second moon. Just Google Earth's second moon.
I've heard this. I've never bought into it, but
basically, I buy into it. I'll tell you why.
You do buy into it.
I'll tell you why. I had a talk with a dude, and he was physics. Yeah. And we got chatting about it, and he started telling me about the moon. And he said, it's a puzzle in physics, because for its size and the distance that it is to us, how it is, where it is, like it holds in orbit. It's really, to them, that he was saying it was bizarre. And he said for an object to be that close, because it's all about proportions to us. Now, he explained it in a way that I understood. And it's hard for me to explain it. But he said, that shouldn't be our moon. Our moon should be a lot more smaller.
Right. Isn't the moon a piece of Earth that broke off a piece of Mars? I don't know which one it is.
No, it's a weird little story. We're supposed to be 2 planets. That I did remember the name of the other planet, something like Thermoth, I think it was called, and we collided. It was a collision, and then we became Earth.
First time I was speaking to Orphan Red, I think it was actually on Alien Addict, and she's a flat earther, and she's actually a good friend of the channel. So whether you're a flat earther or not, I don't care.
I don't care.
If you're a decent person,
that's it.
You're in it for you.
That's it. Yeah. I like people for people, not their beliefs.
Exactly. Yeah. If somebody believes in something you don't, and you don't like them for that reason, more fool you. But I said to her, she's a flat earther, and she was like, "How do you explain?" I think it was Orphan, or it might have been 007 that I interviewed quite a few years ago, and it was like, "How do you?" I think it was Orphan. She said, "How do you explain all the craters on the moon? When you look up at the moon, you see all the craters. Well, you're not going to fire you're not fire asteroids out." So I said, imagine that is Earth, that's the moon, you've got an asteroid that comes in at Earth and it slingshots around Earth. Like it comes in for Earth, and it like that's how it hits the moon. So then it was like, because if it's gravity and when you talk about lunar orbits, that's how they get to the moon. They go round the moon, they get into an orbit, and then they fucking hit the fucking gas, and then they to the moon. Like that's how you got to do it. So if you got something that's gonna hit Earth, but it doesn't, and then it hits the moon. So then that got me thinking, and so I'm thinking, oh, clever me, I fucked you up there, didn't I, love? Or hidden, not hidden, 007, I can't remember. I'm
I don't know.
thinking after the show, clever me, knock the fuck out of you there, because you can't debunk that, because I just told you how that worked. But then I'm thinking, why has Earth not been absolutely fucking pummeled by fucking asteroids when we look at the moon and we've got fucking big fucking whack-off craters facing us? Those craters are from slingshots from asteroids that have.
That's why every day's a blessing, mate.
Do you know what I mean? Those craters are from asteroids that have apparently evaded Earth and gone and hit the moon. Now, guys, I know Lee likes to joke and says I'm a flat earther. I'm not a flat earther. All I'm saying is there's something protecting us from fucking asteroids, because I think we would be fucked by now.
Yeah, asteroids. Yeah, but asteroids have always. Yeah, there's been proof.
We saw one in the last one we saw was the only one we've seen that I can think of on video is that one in Russia that fucking took all the fucking glass out and everything in them schools. Then we saw that piece of footage of it hitting. Graham Hancock.
Yeah,
Nate,
I was going to say that.
He spoke about the ones hitting, but I'm not saying they don't. I'm not saying they don't exist. All I'm saying is, I think we should get more of them. It seems we're kind of perfect, you know. We are, never mind the Goldilocks zone. We are like that perfect fucking porridge that nobody spits in that porridge either, you know.
No, I don't understand. But through history, asteroids have hit. It might just be like the trajectory path, of the asteroids. But I think these take thousands of years to happen.
Well, there you go. You said it. You said it. They have hit in the past.
Yeah, and there's proof of that. But I was not saying it's going to hit every 100 years or thousands of years. It probably takes 100,000 years, 25,000 years. I mean, go on what Graham Hancock's. What he says, every 5,600 years, something like that, an asteroid does come along. I tell you what, guys, could you remember that Russian? I can't remember what it's called now. It was back in the 20s. There was this big explosion and it wiped out a load of trees.
Yeah. Was that in Siberia?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, that's it, Hidden. Yeah. And literally thousands of acres of trees flattened. And it said there's a conspiracy behind it. It was on whether or not it was an asteroid exploded or meteorite exploded and it's created this it was like a nuclear bomb went off.
But it
blew.
Could you
remember what it was called, Hidden?
It blew up in the atmosphere.
Yeah, and it looked like a nuclear bomb went off. And people were saying, "Oh no, that's like extraterrestrial sort of technology." Have you seen that, Ollie? I can't remember what it's called. I don't know if anyone chat would remember it.
I can't remember it.
Sorry, say that again. Say that again. What looked like?
So
but say it slowly.
Yeah.
Sorry, I got put off by Tim G Stars, my good friend's comment there. You saying the moon isn't made of cheese? No, Tim, I am saying the moon is made of cheese because the Americans landed there first, and their cheese is shit, and that's why they went.
Have you seen the Wallace and Gromit movie? There was also a Wallace and Gromit movie that you can actually eat cheese off the moon. It's kind of weird. The moon was made out of cheese. But anyway, so I forgot what I was talking about then.
I do love American food, by the way, but the cheese isn't that great. UK cheese is better. I'm gonna send Dave some cheese. Don't know if it'll survive the flight, but it'd be fun for him to watch him eat it live. Go on. What were you saying, Nick?
Oh yeah. Sorry. So yeah, in Siberia in the 1920s.
Sorry. Moody's got it. The Tuscany
Yeah.
event.
That's it. Yeah. Google that, Ollie.
All right,
It sounds like something off Star Wars.
That's pretty cool. It's pretty cool.
Tunguska event. Tunguska? Is that how you pronounce
That's
it?
it. That's it. See, thank God I didn't have to pronounce it. I tried.
Right. Okay, so explain this to me like I'm 4.
Now I'm gonna shut up and roll one up. Happy 420s.
420, man. You got a photo up there, Ollie?
The Tunguska, right? You could, Nick, do me a favor. You whack it in. You whack it in. I ain't gonna be able to type that in.
No worries, man. I shall grab it up for you now.
No, I believe what they're saying. I don't believe it's UFO related.
Yeah, but there have been some close calls, mind. If you look at there are meteorites that pass Earth between the moon and Earth.
Well, the thing is, you got to look at it this way as well, man. We're just a rock. However we want to say this rock is, whether it's round, cube, flat, it's still a rock, and we're just this rock out there in space, man.
That's a fucking great point, that Hidden. Whatever shape
you guys see that,
we're still there. Where have you put it? Oh yeah.
Can you see it? Can you see it, guys?
Yeah, it's on screen, mate. It's on screen.
Oh, right, that's cool. Yeah, I have no idea if it was working. Yeah, so this is...
So nothing's grown there as well? That's quite interesting.
Yeah. So if you look at... But I'll try and get a good foot.
I'm sorry, that's a fucking alien.
That's no, it's more interesting that nothing's grown there.
Yeah.
What they're saying hit there? What they're saying hit there?
No, nothing hit there.
Hair.
What they're saying is that a meteor or an asteroid, whatever, blew up in the higher atmosphere. It exploded.
Right.
And it's caused such a pressure that it had this near perfect circle, but there's still no trees. That's weird. Because that's strange, man.
It's weird, isn't it? Just like a perfect circle.
See,
I
never even revisited it because I just bought it as that's a good explanation for that.
I had never heard of this, Nick. This is fascinating.
Can you show the original picture so Ollie can see how the trees were all blown down?
Yeah, sure. No worries. Let's have a little look.
100 years later, still no trees. Yeah, I'm with you on that. That's definitely a Family Guy meme.
So hang about this. So they captured this like 100 years ago.
Yeah, it's just like 1920s. No, 1908. Sorry, 1908. This happened.
And now, if you look at this place on Google Earth, is it exactly the same? Is it well, not exactly the same, but there's no trees that grow there.
Let's have a look.
Yeah, nothing's grown there. It's like a big circle. So yeah.
Oh, Hidden, have you got Google Earth?
I have, but I'm stunned.
Oh, go on, lad. You make it your mission. Go on, do it slowly.
Oh man, come on, Lee. Nick. Come on, Nick.
What's that, man? What
do it for the old man. I'm a pensioner.
What do you want, guys?
You've got it installed. Nick might not have it installed.
Do you have that? Everybody's got Google Earth.
That looks like over Google Earth.
It's free.
I know it's free, but it's still on the computer.
Somebody says Tim Star wants you to look up the
Siberian. Look up the Siberian. Okay.
Cauldron. Never heard of that one.
Okay, let's do that.
See, I might have heard of things and they got names and I don't know the names. These things are kind of interesting. But man, I'm blown away now. No trees after 100 years. That can't be what they said it was then. Well, that could have been a concentrated spurt of radiation, but then nothing would grow, would it? Well, should there? I'm at a loss, man. My mind's blown.
I mean, you know that old saying that life finds a way?
Yeah.
It didn't find a way there, did it?
Well, the only time I've ever seen things like that, I'm going to stop talking because I'm stoned. But I've seen shit like that before.
It's amazing. I wonder if they got any like background radiation off that. I'll be surprised, because for trees, like you said, Hayden, for trees not to grow there, that's almost like Chernobyl sort of level, you know. Crazy shit.
There you go, boys. Siberian cauldron. Look at that beast.
What's that? Is that a sinkhole then? Ooh, there you go. Imagine losing your wallet down there.
Would not go. Does anybody remember that? There was a series on Netflix. I don't know if anybody saw it. I can't remember the name of it, but it was in somewhere in America, and there was this hole, and eventually one of the guys decided to jump in it, and he literally went through a dimension somewhere else. That was fucking wild. But it's probably based on that. It's fucking wild, Tim.
I mean, if you googled
looks like my ex-wife. Sorry.
If you googled Earth meteorites craters on Earth, you see these gigantic.
Yeah, I know there's loads. Yeah, I know what you're saying, man. I just don't understand why we haven't had like a fucking.
It's how we're designed.
I know it sounds horrible, but like an event where an entire fucking city has been wiped out from an asteroid. I just think we seem so fucking lucky, considering when you look at the moon. And my point was speaking to a flat earther and debunking a flat earther and saying, well, the reason why the moon has fucking craters on that side that faces Earth constantly is because the Earth fucking literally they fucking deflect off. If something happens to be going at Earth at a certain angle that doesn't hit Earth, the moon's gravity will pull it, and it hits the moon instead. But then I'm thinking, there's a fucking lot of craters on that moon.
Because there's only face one side, you know, the moon. You're kind of right, Ollie. It is kind of suspicious, you know. The moon is only faced at one side, you know, for a meteorite to go around the Earth. It kind of makes sense. Is that how what?
And before you start, because I know you're in the chat, because he keeps winding me up saying I'm a flat earther. I'm saying that what if Earth is fucking protected by something? What if there is a purpose to this moon that we have? Fuck me, we started with Roswell and Blue Book. Now we're on the moon. It's fine. Don't worry about it. It's alien addict. But if this moon that we have on this planet, which is the only moon that I believe astronomers have found that sits perfectly that close to a planet and also faces the planet only one face. It doesn't rotate at all. This thing is a fixed orbit, and it rotates with Earth. Earth. No, that's wrong. Earth fucking does rotate. The moon doesn't at all. The moon is in a fixed fucking orbit. That's fucking odd.
Because no one knows how the moon got there. it's like a mystery, isn't it? Isn't it like an old mystery behind the moon? I mean, there's like Hollow Earth and all that, but where it actually came from is a whole different subject. No one fucking knows, man.
No, but you
It's
look
like
it up though.
It's
perfect.
the amalgamation of two planets.
You look these other
And that's
planets.
the-
You
that's
look
the-
other planets, and you look at their moons. Their moons fucking rotate. All their moons rotate. Our moon doesn't. If you look at some of the Goldilocks planets they have found, some of the other planets they found out of our system that have fucking moons, those fucking moons rotate. I don't know how they fucking know that because they're fucking little dots in the sky, but apparently they rotate. Our moon doesn't rotate.
Yeah, because I know I've seen footage of Jupiter's moon. If it's probably fake, I don't know. But yeah, you're right. It rotates. Yeah. God, it's weird. It's I don't know, man. I haven't really looked into it. That's like a whole new episode.
So could
to
you
go into, man.
could you buy into the theory then of Earth being a prison planet?
I have come across that. Yeah. Like there's no escape.
That's a fucking show right there, Hidden. Well done, mate.
It's like this goes back to the whole moon landing sort of thing. You know, are they actually capable of sending a person outside our, the ozone layer, even the Van Allen belt? You know, are we like trapped here?
I would hope so, mate, because we got one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind. It's a great
If
speech.
it's true or not. If it's true or not. I don't know. That's all.
That is a show that Lee would absolutely love to be on.
Listen, pin up what Rudolph said. You don't have to say that to me. You're right. You got it. You nailed it, man. I've forgotten a lot of things, man. Trust me. But you nailed it. You nailed it with the asteroid belt.
Is that right? Am I wrong by that?
No. What Rudolph said.
No, but how did you get your font so sexy? I can't read that. Unacceptable bruise. Bios. Right. No, that's not true, Ollie. All moons in our solar system are tidally locked. That's interesting. Is that right? Is that a moon's just tidally locked? Am I fucking wrong by that? Because if that's true, then I was looking at information yesterday on the internet, and I was watching some moon shit, and they were saying they were talking about moons fucking spinning like shit.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I've seen footage of that. I'm pretty sure I was seeing footage of. I'm pretty sure it was either Saturn or Jupiter's moon,
right,
spinning. I'm pretty sure I've seen it.
Listen, I'm not somebody that's gonna fucking preach something and say I know this for facts because I've watched it on a YouTube video. I'm gonna look into this. I'm gonna look at some science shit. I'm even gonna. I have a fucking program which is called Universe Simulation installed on this motherfucker. I will check that out.
Language.
If that is right, then I feel a debunk coming on. But the fact that the ancients say the moon wasn't here is interesting in itself.
When you say ancients, do you mean people of my age?
No, I'm talking about like the ancient Greeks, mate.
I know what you're on about.
I'll tell you what, are any of you two aware of the Lonnie Zamora case, which is probably one of my favorites?
You have to I've heard that name.
Lonnie Zamora was a guy, I think it was the late 60s, it could be early 70s. You UFO guys in the chat will know. But he saw a egg-shaped craft that landed, and I believe it was somewhere like in that sort of Roswell vicinity, deserty place anyway, that had a landing gear and had little guys or girls outside the craft police officer.
Well, that's the one.
He pulls up, he gets out, he looks at this craft. These creatures look at him. They get in the craft. He notices the craft has a weird fucking symbol on the side of it. And then this craft takes off. And there's a big case on this craft. They came out to investigate. This craft left like little fucking. Sure enough, there was the imprints, everything, and there was burn marks. It's like it is a very famous case that nobody speaks about. I'm wondering if any of these files that they're talking about from the Lonnie Zamora case, which is not going to have any photographs, it's only going to have like the words of this guy.
But he's law enforcement.
He's law enforcement. Are we going to get more law enforcement and military classified footage that's going to get released?
Hopefully, yes. Hopefully, yes. Well,
how do you trust the authorities?
Well, the AARO, I don't know if you've heard about that they've set up their own website now. So they're going to be putting footage on there from the military.
I'm going to be honest with you. No, I haven't heard it. No. What's the website called?
I'll put the link in the private chat for you guys. I can do that much for you.
I'm just thinking about all the documents that's going to be released, the thousands of documents. Do you think it's going to be checked? Do you think they check these documents before they put online?
No, I think they're just going to be scanned and they're going to be put out there, and then you make your mind up.
Yeah, but do you think the person who's scanning the images going, "Oh, hold on a minute"? I think they're probably told, saying, "Okay, if there's a bit too." Do you reckon? Like, is it a bit too revealing? Let's not do this. Hypothetically.
Oh, okay. So you mean no? I think if they've got anything too revealing, they haven't got it. They have not got it. If there is anything that is smoking gun, like if they've got an alien, if they got the size of an alien's dick, it ain't going out there.
Yeah, Nick, they're only putting out what they've already put out already. They're just putting it on the internet. They're taking all their archives that they haven't put on the internet. They're doing it all. So let's see what's gonna come through the cracks. I'm sure it would be interesting time in Reddit when they do that.
I would say that the classic flying saucer will become. I think it's going to trend again in 2014. I'm going to say this right now. I'm going to play that card. I think the flying saucer is going to become relevant again in
Ollie,
2014.
Sorry, can I post the link in your chat?
You do what you want, my love.
Sorry for interrupting you, man. I need to stop that.
No, you don't need to say sorry every 5 seconds. Hidden, you are my lad.
Please.
Is it this one? Aldermain Anomalies Resolution Office.
Yeah,
is that what you sent me?
Yeah, that's being. I think is it Dr. Kirkpatrick again?
What do you guys make of Kirkpatrick?
I like him because he's got footage. That's all I can say.
At least something. Yeah, totally hidden. Yeah.
I put the link in the chat for you guys. This is his new website that Ollie's showing you. He hasn't got much footage on there, but I've seen that the UFO channels have been raping it.
What's the most interesting thing to see on this? Because to me, it just looks, if I'm honest, it looks a little boring.
No, you have to click the footage. It is boring.
Where is the footage? Let
me have a look then. Sorry, I just came off of it.
It's not one of those websites you got to sign up for.
Oh, no.
UAP videos. Ooh, official UAP videos. Here we go. My God, we got the meat and fucking potatoes here, people.
All right, I don't have to look now. See, I knew you would have found it.
Here we go. Oh, my.
The bottom one, I always thought was interesting.
I mean, come on. Come on, people. What? That is definitely aliens.
Well, I'm sure that when he took that footage to Congress, he said it was on. Oh Jesus! He said it was a plane.
So is that over water?
I ain't got a
See,
clue.
we've got no idea, have we?
Well, he's probably put some context to it.
How old is this footage?
Why are we not seeing? I don't think I've seen much of this.
It's almost like there's a filter over it.
I think UFO channels have given up on putting stuff out anymore because they're just convinced everything's bullshit.
Well, I got it, so I'll check it out from time to time.
No, I'm not liking this. I'm loving it. In fact,
This
is Arrow's official site.
Yeah. It's set up for this. Is it which alphabet group is it? Pentagon.
Oh, Hidden, great call, mate. This is great. I mean, that one's dancing for the camera. Look at him.
See, my favorite footage on there is the one at the end. That looks nearly cube shaped, doesn't it? No, not the bottom one. Then I thought it was the bottom.
We've all seen that one in the Middle East object.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've all seen that, haven't we?
See, but that's why I got to say I admire the guy. He's turning up to the table with something. You get what I'm saying?
That's Elon Musk's fucking. Oh, maybe not. No, it is. It's just. Yeah, that's Elon Musk's fucking.
See, there's no depth to this. You can't tell nothing. You got nothing to, no buildings, nothing.
Oh, look at the bottom.
What's going on?
Right. Okay. This one's interesting. This one is interesting. Right. And I'll tell you why it is. Right. Watch those. Watch these light things, yeah? But what's the bottom hidden? What's coming from the it's my left. See it?
Yeah.
So I think that's a plane at the bottom, but what are what are those stations? I think
those are the dots. Could they be stars?
I mean, they could be stars, couldn't they? But
no, I'm trying to get to see if these things are moving.
Is that what they are? Is that the size of those things?
See, isn't Elon Musk a bit more closer together? See,
let me see what's the explanation for these things here.
That spotting has to be on. It has to be in the footage itself, because that's not moving.
I don't think it's UFOs. I think it's like it says analysis of full motion video combined with commercial flight data in region LED arrow to assess that the object where maybe it is a UFOs, yeah. Three separate commercial aircraft flying at a great distance from the infrared sensor. Okay, so it's debunking stuff. This video.
Could you guys remember the leaked military footage back in the 90s? of a flying saucer over a military base. Could you remember that?
Is that where is that the military base that shut down? The base shut down. It shut down a nuclear warhead from going off, or started the nuclear.
No. I can play if you want. I can.
Yeah.
Get
it, mate.
Yeah, sweet. Sorry, I went quiet there. I was just like trying to find this footage. This is let's have a little look.
So did you like that one, Ollie?
No, man, I like that site, but you have to read the fucking things before you look into it, because otherwise you're gonna get excited like I just did.
Yeah, that's why I said when you played that one, I said he showed that at Congress and he debunked it.
But how does he know?
With the one he debunked, he told you it was a plane, and he even.
No, but how does he know? That's that. Do you know what I'm saying?
He explained it. That's how he knows.
Okay. So Nick, just pause that a second.
Right? Yeah, sure.
I get Kirkpatrick, yeah. I get people like Kirkpatrick. He seems like he knows his fucking shit. But how does he know? That's that. Well, like how does he know that all these pieces of footage of UFOs is? Because what people are doing now, right, is they are, and Cambian's doing it. Cambian were in the chat earlier, but I wanted to get him on tonight actually, because I wanted to say this to him. How does he know that Corbell and Knapp's grift, yeah, a bit of that is, because I do believe there's definitely a bit of a grifty thing, just like Alien Addict's got a grifty thing going on, Cambian's got a grifty thing going on, Goofan's got a grifty thing going on, Lou Reviews has got a grifty thing going on, because all of us at some point, well, Knapp and Corbell have been successful at it, let's face it. But all of us at some point spoke to Lee about this. We both would love to give the day job up to do Alien Addict full time because we love doing it. It's our thing. We enjoy this subject. It's great. Now, all these people who are in this game claim to be in it because they love it. Apart from Arrow, Kirkpatrick, that's a job. That's coming from fucking like some people that are above most people's pay grade, that we've all of a sudden decided to trust government when it comes to UFOs. I'm not saying Kirkpatrick's full of shit. I'm not saying that Arrow's full of shit. But what I'm saying is people for years have had a really fucking healthy distrust for any authority when it comes to people telling us what this is.
Yeah.
But now the UFO channels are fucking going with it and they're saying, fuck you. You're fucking wrong and you're full of shit. You're a fucking grifter because XYZ has proved it. And so-and-so, who's pretty high up, pretty intelligent, and in with the big boys, has said it's bullshit. Years ago, if any government came out and said anything, we'd have said, fuck you. Get back to your fucking paperwork. We don't fucking believe you. Because we're a team on this, and we know something's going on. But we're going in the opposite direction. So I get the whole. I'm not saying Kirkpatrick's full of shit. I'm not saying Arrow's full of shit. But what I'm saying is hidden right there is we have a thing right now where we are starting that we're getting officials involved in ufology, and that is the only. Let's face it. Let's be fucking really honest. That's the only way to for disclosure to work is for official. You're not going to get disclosure from fucking Johnny Big Bollocks in his bedroom, are you? It's not going to happen. You know, you are going to get it from an official.
But didn't you say?
How can you trust that?
Didn't you say though? See, you can only trust the evidence. And this man Kirkpatrick, he isn't a debunker. He's putting out what he has looked at. Now, there are footage in there that he says that he's put down as unidentified. He's put it down; it's unidentified.
Mm-hmm.
Those are the raw images. If we can go through them and have a look, you see what when he was. This is what I'm trying. Look, all I can say is, out of all the people, and you said it at the beginning, that surely not all of them are in it for the wrong reasons. Now, to me, this is his job. But I think how he presented himself when he was in front doing whatever, Congress or wherever he was, how he presented himself, and I was blown away by what he was saying. Mm-hmm. And I like the fact that he's looking at things and he's saying, look, this is why, and this is why this is, but we got a still caption, and he even told him, if you pause it at this, you will see, and you can make out the wings. You can see it's a plane.
Yeah.
So you have to, in this game that we play, you have to take the good with the bad. And it's
you do. I couldn't agree with you more. But what I'm saying, and my message to the UFO community is, and I will say this to Stephen, and I want people, if there's any truth seekers here, goofonians, whatever, fair phasers, anybody, feed this back to them, because I don't know if they watch this show or not. I don't care, but this arrow. Yeah. Director's message. Welcome to the website for all domain anomaly resolution office. Arrow. Okay. I'm dyslexic, so if I butcher this, I am sorry, but you're taking the piss out of a dyslexic man. Our team of experts is leading the US government's efforts to address the unidentified anomalous phenomena UAP. Now, UAP's changed. Lee said this the other day. I'm not gonna steal his fucking thunder. But UFO changed to UAP, which was unidentified aerial phenomena. That has now changed to unidentified anomalous phenomena, UAP.
Yeah.
But look at that right there. Government. I'm sorry, but the government can go suck my fucking dick.
Oh, dear God.
yeah.
I should be on Rockfin for that, but when it comes to this,
poor Boris.
He's not in power anymore, mate. He's gone. We're never in power. When it comes to this subject, when have we ever fucking trust government?
It's like I said earlier, you know, they classify the JFK assassination files, and I think they're going to tell us truth about UFOs and UAPs. I'm sorry, I just do not believe anything that's coming out.
That's my issue. That is my issue with the people who I really fucking love these people in the communities, the goof-ons, truth seekers, blue reviews. I appreciate their content, love it. What I would love them to fucking address is the government aspect of this, because when we're talking about this and they're talking about the grifters, can we talk about the government thing there? Because the government thing with the UFO field has been a thing that we have spat on for fucking years.
Yeah.
That's my issue.
Yeah. No, I totally agree with you. You know, we were mocked. I mean, especially when I was a kid, you know, I love to talk about UFOs and aliens, and you always did get this smug look off of people, and it's almost like manufactured to look good. I mean, they changed the name of UFO to UAP, you know, to make it more professional. it's like something's going on here. So someone's pulling the strings to push this narrative of disclosure. I something's not adding up, man. But I do not trust the government and anything they say, especially any fucking mainstream media. I mean, I'm very skeptical about News Nation at the moment. I keep my distance, man.
News Nation is very linked to linked to KLS, which is George Knapp's thing.
Yeah.
I mean, I have no. I mean, wouldn't that be perfect if fucking Corbell and George Knapp are fucking in on it? The whole thing.
Did you watch the rest of the interview with Joe Rogan?
Yeah, I've watched the whole thing. I thought it was a great interview.
I did as well.
I personally don't think they are. I think Corbell gets overexcited. I think he absolutely fucking loves it. If I'm honest, I think
he's on the pedestal.
Do I think that he fucking knows he can fucking make money off it? Yeah, absolutely. If I get to that stage with this channel, me and Lee will definitely fucking make money off it. Does it mean to say that we will fucking feed you a bunch of shit? No. I already told Lee and Dave. I said, listen, I ain't ever selling out. If it's something very serious that I think this is, it's never going to happen. We will never sell out as a channel. But I don't believe all the debunks with this, because I think there's something to it. 100%. There is something to this field. There's something to the little tidbits that we're getting that I don't think it's just the grift. I think it's leading somewhere. And I think that I think you've got to look at the whole government aspect of it, because that's the key to all of this. And that is the key to mum and dad, your mum and dad in the chat, turning around to you and saying, you know, those UFOs that you're into? Yeah. Well, I saw something on the news the other day, and I just want to ask about this because I'm a bit concerned. That conversation may happen. The people in the chat that are listening to this right now, because let's face it, somebody watching this after the show may not make it this far. I don't make it that far into live shows. You've got to ask yourself this question. When they're asking you that, what do you tell them? Do you tell them, well, this has been going on for years, mom, dad, sister, brother, lover, whatever? Or do you tell them there's something, you shouldn't trust this? You should not trust this right now.
What, the threat narrative? Is that what we're going by? Because that is technically what it is. This whole UFO
I feel that something's building.
Yeah, sure.
It's been doing it for a while. I don't think it's just a grift. I don't think everybody in the chat would be still here if it was just a grift. Even if you are, then you need to do something else with your lives. I need to do something else with my life if this is just a grift. There is something.
Some people say it's a distraction. I mean, there's plenty of better distractions going on.
But
yeah, exactly.
If it's a distraction, they've distracted me. I mean, I've seen them with my own eyes. Nick, you've seen them with your eyes. Hidden, I think you've seen them with your own eyes.
Yep.
I guarantee the chat has seen them. I guarantee the chat has seen fucking ghosts.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That's why I said to you. That's why I said to you at the beginning. Why do you need the government to tell you this stuff is real?
But the thing is, now they're mixing it. Have you noticed this? The even on the talk shows, they're mixing this up. You're seeing people talking about
it's a hot topic,
like dimensional beings, all that jazz. Like there's something that is in this folklore that we've had for fucking thousands of years. There's a key truth when it comes to ufology. in this, and I think it's going to come out, and I think at some point we're going to have to believe it's either fucking aliens or something else.
I think it's something
No, it's got
else.
to be aliens. Or something spiritual, because we talked about that as well. Something intimate. Because I was briefly talking about, you know, the possibility of these extraterrestrials being extra dimensional. You know, they're here, but we can't see them. That sort of aspect. I know Grosh talks about it, but that has been in part of ufology for a while. Anyway, that sort of extra dimensional beings that can turn themselves into like balls of light, you know, and that's what we're kind of seeing in the sky. Instead of being an extraterrestrial spacecraft, is probably, I don't know, man. Is interesting concept though. Is I loved looking into it. It's fascinating.
I always
So
think the best.
something is brewing, Ollie. I have to admit, it's almost it's building up. Like ladder is building up, and if probably by the end of the year, next year, who knows?
I mean, I think I said this like a few months ago. I said, well, if it does, fucking hell, Lee, we're in the right place. We are in the right place, you know, to monopolize on it and all that jazz. But then I'm thinking, I've got fucking 2 fucking kids. I've got a family. I don't fucking want this shit to fucking come out. To what I think it may be, to what if the conspiracy that I believe is what I believe comes out and is going to go into full fucking mode, I'm not ready for that.
Going back to the question you were saying, Ollie, you know, what would you tell your kids, or what would you tell people that are concerned? You just say is primarily bullshit, isn't it? Really, you know, it's nothing new. This is nothing new. This whole threat narrative, unless they got proof of an actual threat to show the public, saying, look at this. You know, they can't just say it. They'll have to back it up with something in terms of faking the evidence or going back to Project Bluebeam.
You would have to back it up, but
you'll have to back it up, yeah, to make the public react to something. I mean, going back to the.
Thank you, Jennifer.
Thank you, Jennifer.
That's awesome.
Okay, yeah, no, but she's right. How can you back it up if you can't see them? So yeah, if you can't see what's right, because that's been mentioned a few times. That's been mentioned, and love him or hate him, that I think we're right by saying did George Knapp and Carl Bell say that on Rogan's channel, that what if these things, they're there but you just don't know they're there, you know, that it's on a different plane of existence.
Well, it's not even that. It's in how our eyes are hardwired to see. We can only see in a very limited spectrum.
Yeah.
So all it takes
they said that, yeah.
All it takes is something to be operating outside of that spectrum, and they're invisible to us, but yet may not be invisible to a cat, nor a dog, nor goldfish.
Yeah.
That's a thumbs up to Heckles. Love you, brother.
And thank you, Jennifer. Love you too. Appreciate the love. But no, I that one bit, as much as people say, well, what I think these guys are just doing they're doing a grifty spin. There's that bit that I just don't think they are. I think yes, they're making money off it. I think, yeah, they're excited about it. I think Corbell's definitely fucking absolutely over the moon with his success, and rightly so. He's done well on it.
Russ Clothard.
Does it make him a bad person? Does it mean to say that he is not in it for the right reasons?
Well, what are the right reasons?
Oh, sorry, Jen. You didn't need to super chat for that. I was keeping an eye on the chat, but I appreciate it anyway.
Thank you, Jennifer.
She went, no, I meant you can see them. I don't think everybody can.
I can't.
I think some people can see them. I think I may have seen something as a kid. I think
It's
I
really
may.
kind of gets
I think I may have seen something when I was on the psychedelic train, but
Oh yeah, hell yeah, man, hell yeah, I totally agree with you. But if you look at like paranormal experiences, you know, you see these ghosts for a very, very glimpse second, like a split second or less than like 2 seconds, you know. So you're probably in that sort of zone for, I don't know what the mind might play tricks on you, I don't know, but it might put you into this sort of a different vibrational state so you can see other things. It's weird. It's I don't say I got the answer for it, but there is definitely a plane of existence that we cannot see. But through meditate, I know people that can do meditation. They can actually see the other parallel dimensions and everything. This goes into like the reptilian thing we were talking about yesterday. You know, people can change their vibrational state, and they look at like these politicians, and they like, oh, they look a bit reptilian. You know, I think you can achieve
I
the
mean,
same
half
thing.
of that stuff with the reptilian stuff, when you're looking at politicians, when you're looking at anything on a news outlet, and you see that fucking glitchiness in, and you see that on a lot of things. That you even see it on podcasters, where you've probably even seen it on this show, where somebody will glitch out and you'll see their eyes go a little bit funny or what have you. A lot of that is just down to fucking image artifacts.
Like the pixelation, is that what we're
Yeah,
going?
it is.
Yeah,
It is.
yeah.
But there's some of it that I do look at and I go, that's interesting. That's weird. Especially when it comes to some of the footage that's coming from really high up. And I mean that in the literal sense, really high up.
What do you mean? Like top shelf?
No, I mean high as in like physically high. You see stuff glitching out on things.
What, like airplanes?
No, higher than an airplane.
On the moon?
On a space station. You see things lit.
Oh yeah, yeah, because you guys mentioned it.
That's a show in itself. That's a show in itself.
Yeah, Lee got me on that gravy train. Yeah, cheers, Lee.
Yeah, I think
fascinating
he got me in it as well.
Yeah, that I couldn't believe the stuff. I was like, oh fucking hell, you're on wires there, mate. You know, you can clearly see it. But the glitching, yeah, that's some weird stuff. Yeah.
So to bring it back in line with the show, because we've got like 2.5 hours nearly. Be careful next year if this footage is going to come out next year. If we're going to get blue beam, Jesus Christ, I am on the right foot. I am on the right track tonight. If we're going to get blue book stuff that's going to get revealed, if we're going to get Roswell, just be on your toes from where it's coming from, because I don't think we can trust anything in this field anymore. Nothing. But I will say this: when people are sticking up for government, and the good people, because I know good people who are sticking up for government because they think it's fucking an intelligent person telling you this, remind them who they work for. And check out all the links in the description to help grow Alien Addicts. If you've liked this show, make sure you hit the thumbs up. Make sure you do all that thing. Check out the links in the description for the guests on tonight's show. Hidden is the UFO guy. He's the man that puts the footage out. Nick's the man.
Don't call me Nazi Nick.
Who's gonna name his channel Nazi Nick? And I think he's researched a lot of Nazi UFO technology, and
but you can't use that title.
The channel's going in that direction, isn't it, Nick?
They'll shut you down straight away, man.
Yeah, exactly, Hidden. I was thinking about that. Yeah,
just on the name alone, just on the name, you'll probably get 10 videos out, and then boom, you're gone. Adios, mate.
Back to BitChute.
so Sunday you've got Lee and I think you got Lee and Dave and I don't know, Bugs Bunny. It's going to be a great show. I think that it's a bit of Mooney stuff going on there. I don't know yet. Lee's not told me exactly what he wants to do. I don't know if I'll be on or not. I'll try and be on, but I am out that day. I don't know what time we'll get back. Monday is going to be a big show. Monday, there's going to be myself, there's going to be Nick, there's going to be Hidden, there's going to be Lee, there is going to be Stu, there's going to be Dave. I don't know if Orphan's coming on, Red. I have no idea. But we are doing a full-on 9/11 show on Rockfin. We will go live just to talk a little bit of fucking bullshit for half an hour that won't get us destroyed on YouTube. The Rockfin channel is in the description below, people. So if you've made it this far, do us a favor, go subscribe to it or follow it. I don't know. The one that you don't have to pay, you can pay if you want to, but it's free. You don't have to pay. Rockfin, if you love conspiracy, it is a conspiracy fucking hard on. That's all it is. It's YouTube on fucking conspiracy steroids. There's nothing else. I don't think there's any gaming stuff. I think it's just all conspiracy channels. That is what Rockfin is a platform. Me and Lee, we had to apply for it. A lot of people do not get accepted for it. I know people who've not been accepted for Rockfin that are bigger than us. We got accepted for it. We're up to about 340 subscribers, I think it's at now. Go take us up to 400 by the end of the month. That'd be great. Hit that fucking link. Hit the like buttons on. We do an exclusive show every Thursday on Rockfin that is not on Alien Addict because we can't get away with it on here. But Monday is one that we definitely would not get away with on this platform. Just because, and I get it, you got to be a bit PC. It's fine. Monday, we're going to talk one of the biggest conspiracies there is out there. It's going to be 9/11 in a respectful manner. As respectful as you can get on that subject. I've already started looking at doing the intro for the show. And it's weird when I'm looking at the footage of 9/11. It's actually been hard putting that together. And it did put me on a downer today, actually. Like, I was looking at stuff today, like marking certain points in videos to pick pieces that I wanted to use for the intro. And I put myself in kind of this bad place. Which is such a 9/11 does that for people. But yeah, Monday, gonna get a lot of stuff off our chests. It's there. Make sure you go check out the Rockfin. Nick, Hidden, I love you boys. Good night. God bless, people. Mind the bugs don't bite. Check out the links. Fucking love you, addicts. I can finally call you addicts with people starting to use that. Like it. Love it when you use that shit. Now, where's my fucking intro?
So far this year, the National Archives has digitized tens of thousands of pages related to UFOs. They start in stacks like this, then it's off to the lab, where employees prep the materials, get them ready for the camera, and then onto your computer screen.
What we'll do is we'll place the object on the table and basically take an image of it.
Project Blue Book was a U.S. Air Force program from 1947 to 1969, which was responsible for receiving, documenting, and investigating UFO reports.
Every time you play a film, it's at risk of damage.
And the famous Roswell incident, transformed from the original film only available at an archives facility just outside D.C. to this digital video that can now be played anywhere. The once clandestine Air Force video supporting the official government conclusion that the 1947 discovery of debris in New Mexico was from Air Force testing of covert weather balloons. Now, the tens of thousands of government UFO records expected to all be available online by 2024.
The first step was to identify the records in our holdings that relate to UFOs and to determine the scope. With that, to begin the digitization of the records that were not already digitized. Our goal is to have those records digitized by the end of this year.
At some point, we're going to have some sort of alien rehab for all the addicts out there.
What will they get their next Loch Ness Monster?
Oh, they should definitely tackle that beast. Well, I love the Loch Ness Monster. Beautiful.